Hello friends, today in this live stream we will be displaying the GitHub profile data inside the browser using Node.js and Express. So this is a module that we will use in order to display the GitHub profile, and we will use the username of GitHub, and the username we will take as input, and then after that we will make use of this module. So this will uh, return all the information that we want. You will see the login name, which is the GitHub ID, the avatar URL, all this stuff. So basically, we will be displaying this GitHub profile inside the browser. So if you see, this is the GitHub profile avatar URL. We will display it. Then we have this URL of the person, followers, following, and all this information, followers, how many followers, following, created at public repository, guest, biography. So if you just go to github.com and if you check the profile info here, so for every GitHub account there is a profile out there. So this is the section we will display it. This is a picture, profile picture. This is name. This is username. This is the biography, and this is followers, following, and this is email address, and the website, and the location. So all these things we will display it inside the browser, and number of repositories. Also, we will display these repositories in the browser. So let's get started. So for this, you need to make a Node.js project. So I will close all the Node.js project and start from scratch. So I will go inside if you're watching it for the very first time, then please hit the like button. And here inside the projects directory, I will make a new directory, which is GitHub API. I will cd into this, and I will open this inside Visual Studio Code text editor. So right here we need to initialize npm init -y. So you can see it has created package.json file, and it has got the basic information about the project. And now we need to install this module which we are saying, which is GitHub-profile. This is a module. So this will hardly take 5 seconds to install. So it will install this module inside dependencies section. You will see GitHub profile is installed. So if you are watching it for the very first time, then please hit the like button. And now we will make our index.js file, and we will require this module, which is GitHub profile. And then this contains a method inside. If you see the documentation, you will find out it contains this method, GitHub profile. So here you will provide the username, or you can provide the email as well. So I will provide the email address. Let me provide the username first. And after that, if you see the documentation, it will return you a promise dot then, and it will have the profile object. So here you can console log it just to check if it is working. So if I run here node index.js, so it is saying email required. So we need to provide the email. So for this we need to, so I think I have this email which is attached to my account. So if you provide this, so now all this information will be returned to you. You can see this is, if you provide the email address, this will return you a JSON response, and it will return you all this information that you want here. So this is the name, company, blog, location. This is biography. So all this information we can display it inside a table like structure inside browser, so that this application will be dynamic. So let me start building this application. So if you just let me, for this we need to install Express. So npm I Express and EJS. EJS is a template engine. So just install this. It will hardly take 5 seconds. So now it has installed it. So we can simply say node-more index.js. So this will restart the application every time when we make any sort of changes. So right here we will import Express. So we will make a new Express app and we will listen on port number 5000. So we will just say app is listening on port 5000. So when we load the home page, so we need to render a template which is index. So right here we need to set the view engine which is EJS. So right here inside the views folder we need to create this template which is index.ejs. So here we will have a simple template. So we will say GitHub profile in Node.js and Express. So right here we will make use of Bootstrap. So just write here Bootstrap CDN, and so here you need to just include Bootstrap and jQuery CDN right here after the title. So now we have successfully included this. So right here inside the body we will have a h1 heading. So GitHub profile info, and after that we will have a simple form. The action will go to get info and the method will be simply post. So inside this we will have a simple form group class, and here we will say input type text. So name will be equal to the email, and this type variable will be email because here we will provide the email, and here we will provide enter GitHub email. So after that we will have a simple button to submit the form. So we will say get information. So if you now refresh the application, if you go to localhost, so we need to attach a class, bootstrap class here, which is form control. So if you do this, you will see this is will be your, if you refresh it, so this is your GitHub profile info. If you enter the email address, so that this will display the information in a table. So right here we need to make this post get request, sorry, post request, which is app.post slash get info. So for this we need to import GitHub profile dependency which we have installed it. So right here we will need to include the body parser middleware. So here we will use this middleware simply by writing these two lines. Body parser.json. So now we can successfully get what the user have written here. So we will pass it request.body.email, and this returns a promise. So we can display the profile here. So now if I enter the email here, click get information, so you will see this will return an object holding all this information. So this is the entire object, so we just need to return this object. We will say response.render, and we will render this template once again, and we will pass the profile object. So when you pass it for the very first time, this object will be empty. So right here inside this template, after this form here, we will have a div, and inside this we will just check here for the very first time if profile exists. So surround this with these brackets, and now basically we can use the table striped tag. So inside this we can have table head. Inside this we can have certain table headings here. So here you can display any information that you want here. Let's suppose you want to first of all have the name of the person, so name. Then we will have username. Then we will have followers. Then we will have image URL. So these four information, first of all, let me print out. Then we will have table body tag. So one comment is there, hello. So after this we need to print out. So inside this we need to print out the name here. So for printing out the name we will simply say profile dot. So you can check this object which is returning here. So if you just check here, this will have the property which is name here. And then we have the username which is there inside profile dot company. Then we have the number of followers, so this can be done using profile dot followers. So three people are watching the stream, so first of all like the stream and also subscribe the channel. And for the image URL, you will see this is the image URL which is there. If I check here, let me see here, image URL, you will see that avatar URL is there. So what we can do is that inside this td tag we can have an image tag. So image source can be equal to profile dot avatar URL. So here we can give this image a class of image thumbnail and image responsive. So that's it. Let me check if it is working or not. So if I reload the application and enter the email address, so now you can see all this information will be printed out. This is the name here, this is username, this is followers, and this is the image URL which you can see here. It is quite long, so you can resize it accordingly. Just provide a width and height property. Let me put 100 and height to also 100. So if you're watching it for the very first time, then please hit the like button and subscribe the channel as well. So now if I refresh it once again, so now you can see it is styling it properly here. It is showing all this information. So we can also show the biography as well. So here we can, after the followers, we can say biography. And right here, after the followers, we can display the biography as well, which will be profile dot biography. So if you refresh it, so it is saying it is missing the tag. Oh, sorry, we need to close this. So I think biography is, yeah, it is bio, not biography. So let me replace it. So now you will see that it will also, let me see if any sort of error has taken place. So 8 people are watching the stream, guys. So here we are building a GitHub profile display application. So where we are fetching the GitHub profile of the particular user. So if I show you, this is the application. Let me refresh it one more time. So if I enter the email address, so you will see it will fetch all this information, which is name of the GitHub user profile, which is username. This is the number of followers, which is 104. So one question is there, how to show daily trading respiratory using GitHub API? I didn't understand your question, which trading you are talking about. This is the actual profile details. So if you want to display profile details, this is a biography that you see inside this. You can see this is the biography that we are displaying here. I am Gautam Sharma. You can see that it is displaying this. This is the image URL that you see here. This is the image URL. So you can also download this image. Simply save this image right here. Save this inside your computer. So now you can save this here. And also what you can do is that you can also display the repositories which are there. On the right hand side, you can see 113 repositories. So all such information is there. So 9 people are watching the stream. So first of all, hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well. And if you have any sort of question, you can ask in the comment section. So you can see it also has this location tab as well. So here you can put the location. So let me put the location as well. So this will be th. So we will say th location, and location will be simply after this. I think let me put it right here after the biography. So biography will be after that. We will say location. So location is kind of a country where you are living in. So after this we will display it td, and here we will say profile dot location. So if you see here, now if I refresh it, let me refresh it. So I think, yeah, location needs to be India. So I think we location is coming here. Oh, I think let me put this location here and biography here. So now if you refresh it, you will see in the correct order that all this information, you can see that location India. So you can take any email, for example, I can rename this to, let me take this email. I'm just taking a random email address. I think this email address doesn't exist. So you just need to enter the email address for which you want to. So again, execute this application. So you just need to know the email address for which you are searching the. So what we can do is that, let me just say, uh, nodemon. We can start the application as nodemon index.js. So for this, you need to be knowing the email address. So for this, let me pass Rahul Kumar @gmail.com just to show you. Get GitHub email from username. Let me write this. So basically, if you want to go to any profile here, let's suppose you want to go to any profile. If you search for any repository in the GitHub, let's suppose I search for age calculator, and various creators come here. You can see that this is one creator. So if I go to its profile here, you will see that. So it has its own information here. You will see that this is the email address here. So I need to simply copy this email address. So if I paste it here, let me refresh it. So if I paste that email, so you will see all this information will be fetched for this particular username, which is this image URL, number of followers, the name of the person. So I let me have get GitHub email. Let me search for it package which allows you to get the GitHub email. Let I think we have found this email. You can see this is the one. So here you just need to npm user. This is only valid for npm. So GitHub email. This is the actual package which I need to find out the email address of a person. So let me install it globally to check if it is working or not. Trending, see what the GitHub community is most excited about today, like this. If you are seeing the trending section, I will make another video on that, how to scrape the trending section of to display all the repositories which are there inside trending section. So in this video, we are only concentrating on the profile of the user. So let me install this globally, which is github-email. So after that, you can just find out the email address for a particular username. So we can simply say GitHub email, got the 1 2 3 4 5 6. So it is saying bash is not. So let me see, guys, if I search for another package which comes here. I think this is the package which is there, so definitely we can install this package and try it. You can get this GitHub email like this, so we need to require this. So now, like this we can do this GitHub email. GitHub email, we have got this, so now we can use this information right here. So if I open this, so if you print out this information, you will see, let me try out how to create Instagram viewer 2 using Instagram API. Please make video on it. Definitely I will try to make video. In the last video I have shown you how to scrape information through Instagram in Python, so definitely check out that video. And now if I reload the application here, oh, sorry, we don't need to write this GitHub. Let me use it. GitHub mail. Sorry, GitHub mail, and also make this as await keyword. Sorry, async function. So now let me go to the home page. It is saying GitHub mail is not, sorry, this needs to be GitHub email. So again refresh it. So now you can see that, guys, it is returning the email address which you definitely want here. So here you can provide the username. So you can see it is providing a set of email addresses which are there. So we only need the first email address. So we will store it like this. So I think we only need the first part here. So recent activity. So if I now refresh it, so you can see we only need the first email address, so we can store it inside 0th index. You can see that we are storing it right now. So if I reload the application, you will see that the email address is returned to us. So now we simply need to use this module. So right here, we will provide the username as an argument, and then after this, we will put the email address. So right here, instead of passing static username, we will pass it dynamically request.body.username. So I will make it input type text here. So I will put the name attribute as username, After that, we can get the email address. So email address, after this, we need to delete this right here. So after getting this recent activity, this is our email address. So now we can call GitHub, and here we can pass this recent activity 0, which is the email address. So this will return the profile to us. So here we can just console log, just put this 2 lines inside this. So just I will format the document. So now let me see if it is working right now. If I refresh this application, so it is saying await is only valid in, so let me just make it as async function. Let me remove this async from here. So let me now refresh this application. So if I provide a username, which is this username, click get information. So now you can see it is displaying the information here by the username. So we can just rename this to the username. So we don't need the email address. We want only the username of the person. And then just here in the placeholder, we can change enter GitHub username. So we can username is interesting. So you can just write a random username, and this username will exist. So it is saying undefined username doesn't exist. So make sure that whatever username that you are writing does exist. I think one such username I know is Traversy Media. It does exist. So let me just go to github.com and search for a username. So 4 people are watching the stream. If you are watching it for the very first time, then please hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well. So you can just take any profile of the GitHub and simply copy this username and paste it inside this tool here, which is, so you can see that all this information is returned here. So you can see that, so some users will have their information hidden as well. So in that scenario, you cannot print out the whole information. You can see that, just copy its username and paste it inside this. So also we can display the email address as well. So we are getting this email address right here. If you see this from this module which we have installed, so right here we can, in the second parameter, we can also just send the email address as well. So email is there inside this, which is called as recent activity 0. So we can also display email address here, a field for email address right here after the username, which will be called as email address. So in the third parameter, we can print out the email address of the user. So all this source code will be there inside video description. So make sure that you go to the video description link to download all the source code. So if I refresh the application, so this is the email address. You can see that followers, location, image URL, all this information is returned to us in a nicely table like structure. And you can also display the repositories, number of repositories which you have. So there is a git section here, which is this subscription, all this information, a repos URL, you can also display it. So this is the all information that you can display, guys. So if you have any sort of doubt, you can ask in the comment section. So if you want, so just please hit the like button, subscribe the channel for more streams like this, and I will be seeing you in the next stream.